Hello and welcome. I'm going to give you 10 fast facts on things you should know before you buy a Cricut maker. And then I'll get into more discussion if you want to hear about it. So, the number one thing is that you need the internet connection with your laptop or with your phone so that you can access Design Space, because everything has to be designed online. Number two, the design space that comes with the equipment is very basic. So basic that you cannot draw on that design space, or you cannot create any drawings on the software. Number three, the cutting dimensions. You need to remove about 1/2 inch on all sides of the dimensions on the mat. It does not go to the full 24 or 12 inches. Number four, the fabric mat is so small that you cannot design shirts, you cannot design like pants, you can't design any type of clothing for adults or children with the fabric mat. So basically it's useless unless you want to cut little fabric squares or little fabric designs for infants, or maybe like little tiny things that you can make out of fabric. Nothing, no clothing. Okay, number five, all your designs are saved on the cloud because all the designing happens online. So all your stuff gets saved on the cloud. Number six, it's not Android friendly, so you cannot print and cut with your Android phone, just in case you do not have the internet on your laptop. Number seven, Design Space has a lot of updates, about one every 2 or 3 weeks, and they take a long time and they slow down your process of designing things, and they usually come at the worst times. Number eight, it's not good for large banners. If you want to use your Cricut maker for commercial use, you're gonna have a hard time making large banners with it because the cutting mat is too small. Even the 12 inch by 24 is too small for large banners. You can make some pretty big banners, but you're gonna have to individually cut the letters one by one, and you will not be able to do anything other than that. Number 9, the vinyl can get very expensive, almost $10 to $20 for every 3 sheets that are 12 inches by 12 inches. And number 10, there's a lot of gimmicks on the website and also with the supplies. There's lots of ways of the company trying to get your money, and basically what you're buying is a unit that allows them to give you a commercial every time you feel like designing. So those are the 10 fast facts that you need to know before you buy a Cricut maker. Okay, so now I'm going to get more into detail. So number 1, the internet. If you do not have the internet on your phone or on your laptop, you will not be able to use the Cricut Design Space. Nor did I see that written anywhere on the box or on the catalogs or on anything where I try to get information on that. Basically, if you do not have the internet on your phone or on your laptop, you will not be able to design anything, and that machine will basically just be a pile of plastic and metal. So it's very important that you have an internet connection or some sort of internet when you're using your Cricut maker. So number 2, design space is very limited. Now, when I bought this, there was nothing on the box or on anything about design space. They just show you pictures that you can cut over 300 plus materials with a Cricut maker. Now, you could cut over 300 materials with an X-Acto knife. So saying that the Cricut maker can cut over 300 materials or different materials is really not saying anything at all. That's a little bit of trickery that I've come to realize when I bought this machine, and kind of give me an impression of how this business is run. So there was no information on the software and how detailed the software was. It basically didn't tell me anything about what I can do on the software and how I could design things. When I finally downloaded the software and I started to design, I quickly realized that the design space was so basic that you cannot draw squiggly lines. You cannot draw anything. Nothing. You cannot even use spray paint. Did not have the option. The only options it had was for you to create designs by sticking a bunch of shapes together, and basically like putting a circle in a square or putting a triangle with a circle, stuff like that. And I was really taken back by it, because how are you supposed to design anything if you do not have the option to draw on the software? So design space is very basic. You can only type in text and cut out letters, or you can design things using shapes, which it only gives you about 5 or 6, 7 or 8 shapes. I'm not exactly sure offhand how many there is, but there's a square, there's a circle, there's a triangle, there's a star. It was so basic. You need some other software to design things, and then upload your image onto a design space and hopefully cut that thing out. So number 3 was the thing that caught me off guard, was the cutting dimensions. You're not able to get the full width and length of the mat. You have to subtract about 1/2 inch around the border, so you're left with 11.5 inches by 23.5 inches max. And print and cut is a lot less too. So you would not be able to cut something by 12 inches by 12 inches. So there's a lot of waste there. So number 4, another thing I discovered was that the fabric mat was so small that you cannot design shirts or pants or any type of clothing with it, because the mat is so small. You cannot really cut fabric pieces that would be big enough for clothing. So the only thing you can design is like small little things like face masks or something very tiny. Number 6 was that it was not Android friendly. So if you want to design something on your Android phone and you want to print and cut it, you will not be able to do that, because it's mainly for Apple products. And number 7, there was a lot of updates, which come about every 3 or 4 weeks, maybe every 2 weeks, but they just come out of the blue because there's a lot of maintenance on that website. And yeah, there's just a lot of updates that get in the way. Number 8 is not good for large banners because the dimensions are too small on that. And number 9, the vinyl is very expensive. You're gonna spend a lot of money on vinyl, especially if you're using Cricut vinyl. Yeah, it's not cost effective. If you're gonna make a lot of shirts and you have a lot of print on it, you have a lot of design on it, and it requires a lot of vinyl, one shirt's gonna cost you $30 to $40 just to make one shirt out of vinyl. It's way too expensive. It's about, I think the cheapest is like $2 a sheet, which is 12 by 12 inches. So if you have a design that's 12 by 12 inches, that design is going to cost you $2, and 12 by 12 is pretty small if you think about it. Alright, so number 10, and the final thing that I realized, is that this company is very gimmicky, and it tries to get you to spend more and more money on its products and on its designs. On Design Space, you will be able to buy designs, but you would not be able to sell your designs. So I thought that was pretty messed up, and that's basically it. So hopefully you learned something from this. Before you make a purchase, you think about what you're getting yourself into. The machine is not cheap. When I bought it, I was looking online for some of these answers, and what I realized was that there's just so many people online that they're feeding people a bunch of bull crap about how much they love their Cricut maker and all this bull BS. But basically what they're doing is they're just selling out themselves and the public for likes and stuff like that. This basically tells you the truth of what you're getting yourself into.